Hello! In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made boba pearls that look like Peeps. This recipe is based on Taiwanese tapioca boba. Here are the ingredients you'll need if you want to make this yourself. In a microwave-safe bowl, we're going to add in our water and our sugar. Give them a quick stir together before we throw this in the microwave for about 15 to 30 seconds. Once it's done being microwaved, most of the sugar should be dissolved. Add in 1 tablespoon of tapioca starch and stir it in until there's no clumps. Then, depending on how hot your microwave is, you'll throw this in the microwave for 15 to 30 second increments until it looks like this. You should see it to be very sticky, not very much liquid left, and stir it up until we get this texture. Now we'll add in the rest of our tapioca starch and just fold it in. We want to get sort of a shaggy dough ball. It's okay if not all the tapioca starch gets incorporated through this because we're going to end up kneading in more anyways. Now that it's done, we'll pour this out on a work surface and we'll begin kneading it. Just press it in and fold it over on itself until you get a nice smooth dough. If while you're kneading you notice that the dough is really sticky, it's getting stuck to your fingers, that means you're going to need more tapioca starch. Knead in about 1 tablespoon at a time until you're happy with the texture. This is the texture I like, it's not too sticky and it's nice and smooth. Now that this is ready, we can section out into 3 sections and make 3 colors. I'll do yellow, blue, and pink. Be sure not to add too much of the blue or pink food coloring, it might become quite dark. And yes, it does need to be pink, not red, because when it cooks, you will see the red instead of pink. Now we're going to roll this out, and I roll it out to be about 1/4 of an inch thick. You don't want it to be paper thin or anything like that. And I use these cutters I bought off Etsy, I'll put a link in the description below, to cut out my little Peeps shapes. Important note, you don't want to cut all the way through or it'll get stuck in the cutter. So just press down just enough to get that shape, and then pull it out of the dough. This is going to be a lot easier, that way you don't have to deal with it getting stuck. Then I'm going to dip a toothpick in some water and take a poppy seed and press that into the boba as an eye. And here's our little peep. We'll do the same thing with the bunny cutter. This time I'm going to go for a pink instead. Again, don't punch it all the way through, just enough so that you can tear it out of the dough so it doesn't get stuck. Add in some more poppy seeds for the eyes and nose and make a little assortment. Josh helped me make these because there were so many to make and they do take a long time, so make them with a friend. I think these turned out so cute, but now it's time to cook them. We're going to take these over to a pot of boiling water and dump them in. We're going to wait for them to all float and give it a little stir so they don't stick together. Once they're all floating on the top, we will cover and turn the heat down to low, cook it for about 10 minutes. Then we'll remove it from the heat and let it sit for another 10 minutes. Now we can check on it. If you look at them, they should be almost fully transparent. If you see cores in the middle like I did, leave them in the hot water for longer. If they're good to go, we're going to drain them and rinse them. Just rinse them very briefly, we don't need to rinse them too much. And I like to show off what they look like in some water. I think they look really cute. They look mostly cooked. There was a couple big ones that didn't get fully cooked, but it was okay. Next I'm going to add some sweetener. I just did some honey and stir in that honey and let it kind of soak into the slightly warm boba for about 10-15 minutes before you make your drink. And here's how they look fully cooked. For the drink, I'm going to start by adding in my honey-soaked boba, and then I'll add in some ice. And I added a little too much, so I had to take that top one out. And then I serve this with some taro milk tea. It's got that nice purple color, tastes really great, a little bit nutty. And I'm going to use this little bee boba straw since this is spring. And you can even see them at the bottom. Obviously, a clear tea, you would see them better, but you can even see the peep shapes on the sides of the glass. And yes, it does fit up the straw, surprisingly. And if you're a fan of boba, check out some of our other videos. And I appreciate you staying this long in the video. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and leave a comment down below. What would you like to see next? Thanks for watching. Bye!